Hi, this is Reem Mohammed, second year student in Adult Education Human Resources Development Program at James Madison University. The clip the committee is about to see will represent the lesson, The Impact of Religion on Culture and Schooling, that I delivered on Tuesday, November the 12th at James Madison University Memorial Hall to EDUC 310 Teaching in a Diverse Society class. The committee will see some of the lesson presentation, activities, and case study discussion. Hi everyone, my name is Reem Mohammed. I'm excited to give you the lesson for today. We are going to talk about the impact of religion on culture and schooling. We all know that in the United States we have freedom of religion. That means we can practice any religion we want, or we can practice no religion at all. So that being said, as a teacher and educator, you need to be aware about the diverse class that you will have in the future, and you will have to be ready to respect and thoughtfully think about all your classroom. So we will start the lesson by watching a short video. Okay, let's start with the class objectives for today. At the end of the class, the teacher candidate will be able to specify at least 4 differences between culture and religion. And they will be able to describe 2 benefits from the understanding of positionality of all religions. And also they will be able to list 3 characteristics of a classroom that attains religious pluralism. Finally, teacher candidate will be able to identify the religious conflict in the case study and apply 2 solutions at least. So what is religion? There is a lot of definitions for religion, but I picked this one. I think it's the perfect one. Religion is the relationship of every individual to the spiritual things they have regarded as holy and worthy of their highest reverence. Let's look at these pictures here. You can see a lot of religious symbols. And can someone tell me how many religions they can see in this picture? I can help you. So there is 4 religions in this picture. This one is Christianity, Islam, Judaism, and Buddhism. So these are like symbols of different religions, and there is a lot of many religions. What is culture? Earlier in the semester, Professor Sheikh explained a lot about culture. We defined culture. We did the culture hat activity. So we all now agree that everybody does have their own culture, and we all should be respect that. So culture doesn't really have a universal definition, but people think that agreed it refers to the collective knowledge existing in the people of a society. If you can see here at this picture, you can see the flower culture. I love this picture because it's kind of emphasize what's the culture mean. Could mean language, customs, rituals, behavior, faith, religion, food, art, drama, music, attitudes, and beliefs. This picture here, you can see a lot of like culture symbols. And honestly, I don't think we can summarize culture of just like symbols or pictures. But this might help for today's presentation. We can see here like a Japan culture symbols, USA, Mexico, India, Middle East, and China. So we all get confused sometimes when we see some behavior, or when we see customs, or when we hear a language, or when we just see picture or attitude. Is that a culture or is this a religion? We all get confused between these. So I'm trying today to explain at least just like simple ways how to identify religion versus culture. Culture and religion appear to be complicated concepts, but the complexity of both terms can be recognized and respected without getting confused about the meaning of each term. In this table here, we will see a comparison of culture versus religion. And I love this because it does have a lot of details. It is simple details, but it's really mean a lot to kind of make us have an idea about the difference between culture and religion. Let's start from the religion. It's fixed from the beginning. That means every group have their own religion that they start with. They worship, they know about the rules, and they've been doing all the time. While culture is changed through time. Can someone tell me why culture changed through time? Why you think? Yes?
Because there's no real definitive list or book or rules, and it's kind of people change a lot.
Correct, yes. Also diversity. Diversity affects culture changes through times. People keep traveling, moving, add to the country, add to the culture. Religion is written in text, while culture is practical. Religion is a subset of culture. We cannot do the vice versa. We cannot subset culture on religion. Culture encompasses religion. Religion is a belief system. We only believe of specific religion, and that's the only thing we can do. While culture is acquired body of knowledge. Religion associates with the supreme being. Culture focused on the people of a society. Any questions so far about the table? So I will have a couple pictures for you, and we will do a kind of fun activity. I will ask you if some of these is cultural or religious, and what do you think about eagles in Native American? Is that a culture or religion? Thank you. It's a cultural. A lot of people, Native American, believe that eagles is a messenger from God. And that's only their belief. It's more cultural than religion because it's never been written in any of the books or any of the texts that, yes, eagle is a messenger from God. But Native American been using eagles as an example of a messenger from God. And it's more cultural than religion. Let's go to the next picture. We saw a documentary earlier in the semester about Pasha Kush from Afghanistan country. We wrote a reflection about it. Can someone tell me if you think it's cultural or it's religious?
Culture.
Exactly, it's a cultural, absolutely cultural. Niqab. In Saudi Arabia and other countries, women wear niqab and sometimes wear even burqa when they cover everything, nothing, even the eye not shown. Can someone tell me if this is a religion or cultural? This is a tricky one because it's a cultural. People will think it's religion, and the same people think it's religion because they took it from the Quran and they just been doing all the times. But really, it's not to cover everything. It's never mentioned in the Quran of the Islam about that. What about hijab? When the woman allowed to show her face and her hands, it's religious, correct? What do you think about fasting? Absolutely religious. And all the religions have fasting concepts with different criteria. Any questions, thoughts, ideas? Yes?
When I'm forgetting what it was called, but I think only
Niqab, yes.
and that ended up being cultural, is, I guess you said that was never mentioned in the Quran, but do some things like, are there often things that start as religious but then become cultural because so many people start doing it even though it came from religion, but then
Yes, and this is a good example about that because it starts like this and people think that's how it should be, but it's cultural more than religious. Thank you, good question. Introduction. Citizens in the United States have been stressed with the role of the religion in matter of state. Some of earliest settlers come to the United States to escape religious prejudice. Although they come here to escape this religious prejudice, they have brought with them their religious ideas, beliefs, rituals, and habit of mind. In most, if not all society, religious references in use in everyday life, language, families, schools, institutions, even money often have religious symbols and language on it. I will give you an example about it. In all Middle East, the weekday starts from Sunday until Thursday, and we have off, like they have off Friday and Saturday, because the holiday in Islam is Friday, and they want to worship God that day and see family, friends, so they have it according with religion observation. Also, a lot of organizations and institutions, even if they are government or non-government, they coordinate the lunch break to be with the afternoon prayer, so the employees can have like their eating their lunch and do the prayer at the same time. Can someone tell me an example here how we have the religion in the United States in everyday life?
In most like K through 12 schools, they still say the Pledge of Allegiance, which is under God,
Yes.
which is Christian.
Another example? We have a dollar bill that's in God we trust. So that's also another example. In addition, most of cultural capital of human society emerged from philosophical, literary, musical, and artistic attempt to answer fundamentally religious questions. Who are we? Where did we come from? What's our purpose in earth? What happens when we die? We live in a diverse society, and our diversity comes from people who decide to come here either for studying, working, immigration, or refugees. That's how we have a diversity of religion established and formed. Now we are going to talk about the rules. It's kind of also the summary of today's class. Teacher must learn as much as they can about the religion represented in the classroom. Not only so they can identify or find the commonalities among different religions, beliefs, but also so they can help students interpret differences. Parents and community members are often helpful in this regard, as long as they know that their rules is just like to explain rather than to convert. We talked earlier about ethics and how every teacher needs to build a healthy environment and good community between teacher and their students and also the families. Generally speaking, if parents understand that their children will not be deprived of either respect or affirmation because of their religious belief, most of the parents will be happy to help teacher in any way they can. Do you have any questions? I will give you 5 minutes now to go through the case study and review it, then we will discuss it. Can some of you or one of you just summarize the case study for the class? Would you like me?
So basically, two students were getting in an argument about another student's religious symbol on their necklace that resembled a swastika, and they were debating whether or not the student should have to take it off because it did have valid religious meaning for him or her. Yeah, that was basically it. They were kind of debating, and the teacher wasn't really sure what to do, whose rights were valid or more valid in that situation.
Exactly, thank you. So if you are like, let's go to the questions. So Mr. Ort suggests to Nikayan to wear the charm at home. Do you think this is fair?
No.
Why do you think it's fair?
Because, I mean, obviously you should be able to do and wear whatever you want, but coming to school, if you give up or have to make room for, like, not just your rights now, because women have to deal with everybody else's. And, yeah, other people are allowed to wear crosses, but, you know, unfortunate as it may be, this symbol has been, you know, is associated with, like, this horrible thing that offends or could offend a lot of people or disrupt class at the very least. And so the main focus of the school should be learning and keeping that, you know, time that we have here focused and engaged. And if this is something that causes that much of a disruption, I feel like it should be okay for them to be like, look, can you just, you know, I'm sorry, but we need you to not wear that at school.
This is a good point of view, but if you remember that also, this is looks like a Nazi like symbol, but it's not. It's from his mom, and it's about like Hindu religion symbol. So it's not related to Nazi, but it looks like it a little bit. And as a kid, he will feel unfair to wear like other people can wear whatever they want, and he's not, just because it's close to a Nazi party or something in the past, and it presents hate. Do anybody have any other like thoughts about this? What do you think?
To go against that, the same could be said for the cross because, I mean, the KKK uses it to burn it as like a representation of their beliefs, and they're very not identical to, you know, the German Nazis, but they're similar in their hate for people that don't look like them. So the kid could argue that the cross also represents a symbol of hate.
Yeah. And now we have two opinions. Yes.
Yeah, I think, well, kind of going off of that, I feel like with this specific situation, like in the case study, the student who's wearing the necklace continuously says like, oh, you're all just ignorant, you don't know what this is, like what it really means and all that kind of stuff. But I don't know if it said like what grade they were in, or
8th grade.
8th grade. So he knows about the Holocaust most likely. He probably, like, he knows what that all was. So I think it's important to note whether or not that one student who's arguing that it's okay to wear it knows what happened about the situation that the other students are arguing why it's bad. So he might just, like, on the off chance that he doesn't know what the Holocaust was, like, which I'm sure isn't true since he's in 8th grade, but on the off chance that he didn't know, he might be saying like, what's wrong with it, because he didn't know the other side that people are saying it's bad for.
Yes.
And then just adding on to like kind of comment back of like, personally I'm Christian, but if I was wearing a cross and it came out that it was really disrupting a lot of the people around me and it was like becoming an issue, then I think it's fair for them at the very least in a school. Like otherwise outside of the school, no, will they have any grounds or anybody can ask them to hide that or whatever. But when in the school, at least, yeah, I think they would have the right to ask me to take it off too, if it was causing that big of a disruption.
Yes.
I feel like no one should have to take anything off, and I think like because he's saying they're ignorant, he understands why it's different, and they, like I know what the symbols are. They're two different symbols. It's like they look the same, but like if you have them next to each other, you can see how they are different. And I think that if he understands the difference, he should go, like, maybe the teacher could allow him to teach the class the difference and, like, what it means to him and, like, understand that they are different. And he shouldn't be asked, like, have to take it off at all.
Yeah, that's a very good conversation. I really appreciate all your point of view. And with all, like, as a mom, sometimes we confuse with our kids. Do we want them to wear religious like symbols, or do we want them not? But we want them to know the relationship of God, between person and God. At the same time, they will go to different like people and in different society, and what the people will think. If you are a teacher and you've been on the same situation and have limited time, what you will do?
I'm going to try and get rid of whatever's causing the disruption to get on with what you're supposed to do in class. But of course, in order to do that, you would have them take off the necklace, which is something that would be hard to ask him to do because it would lead into the whole conversation about being unfair to different parties.
What do you want to say?
Well, he doesn't only say like you should wear it just at home. Once Nikhil says no to that, he also says, okay, continue to wear it, but just like tuck it in your shirt, which is again another step of compromise. Like I'm not telling you to take it off, but I'm just saying like it might be better if it's just not seen. So I feel like, kind of going off your point, it's addressing the situation and removing that thing that's causing the issue, but also not blatantly offending the student who's wearing the necklace.
Thank you. So what do you think about Mr. Orr? Like he did something, and instead of taking this as a moment of like education opportunity and educate the class about what the symbols and what's not, what do you think he should do better than this? Yes.
I think he failed personally, because I think one like big responsibility of an educator is to like eliminate ignorance. And I think this was like a very good opportunity to be able just to have like two like even playing fields and create like a discussion, especially in like an eighth grade homeroom like class. You probably only have like 10 minutes max, like to do attendance and do whatever. So you don't really have a lot of time. But I think like as someone who's like building a mind up to be able to like understand complex thoughts, I think that is like a perfect opportunity. Just to be like, hey, like, let's talk about like what this meant in 1940, and let's talk about what this meant in like 710.
I think there is a time when yes, time is very important, but there is also a time when we need to like explain conflict. And as a teacher, same thing as a father in the house, children think that he knows everything. Same thing, the students think that the teacher knows everything. So as the teacher, I think he should like solve the problem in different ways, rather than having two opinions. First, he told him to hide it under his shirt, or second, he told him to take it off and then, or just wear it outside the school. So what do you think about the teacher knowledge about these symbols? What do you think he could do better? Yes.
So it did seem like he didn't really know what it was, but he did take Nikhil's word in that it was a religious symbol. Given that he was, strapped for time and probably taking attendance, he could have asked Nikhil to go to the computer, assuming there was one in the room, and look up the differences between that and the Nazi symbol and, the definition of what that symbol is, given that the one girl was able to look it up on her phone in like a minute. So that would have probably helped, if not like dissipate the commotion, it would have helped to like calm it down a little bit.
Yes. So as an educator in the future, you need to be like aware about, not go deeply and like, just like learn religions. I'm not saying that, but you need to know what's simple things and educate yourself, because you will be in this position one day and you need to solve the conflict. So just like think about way how you will solve it. And also another way, think about that you have a diverse students who are some of them smart, some of them have like different beliefs and they can explain it. And they have the technology now, the little phone that they can connect to the whole like world through it. So you should be ready for any of these that could happen in the future. Anything else?
I mean, if like everyone else is allowed to wear their religious items, and it's not the Nazi symbol, and it represents like religion and like Hindu religion, then like I think it's fair for him to wear. I don't think it's fair to take something away from him. It's just, I would think it'd be the same thing as taking away the cross from someone who's Catholic.
Yeah, I respect your point of view, because I will do the same. I think it's unfair to ask a kid. He's still, even if he's 8th grade, he's still a kid. And it's just like his grandma passed away and she gave it to him. So I think the connection between him and his grandmother is more than for him the symbols of the Hindus, like religion. It's just like his grandma, and it's that what she used to wear, and it's just like this connection is more than the religion issue. But as you said, I agree with you, yes. That also took us to another thing, that we need to know the law and like read the handbook very well. What the school accepts, what's not. Very good conversation. Thank you so much.
What isn't being shown in the clip was the further discussions about the rules regarding the religion concepts at schools in the United States, in addition to what are the legally accepted solutions for the case study. the learners have been evaluated depends on the accuracy of the note-taking sheet. Thank you for watching.